back in Baldwin's hands, trying to create, drive and kick. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Back in the hands of Baldwin. Down to 8 to shoot. Can't get one up. A 3 is front rim and off. And Johnson can't snap the shutout for Penn State 2 minutes in. Purdue the first 4 in this one. Loyer a 3. Kaufman rim from the free throw line and back into that matchup.
Penn State gonna stay 1-on-1. He got to score that ball.
And another whistle. Kaufman ran back to the foul line for the second time.
It's a Matt Painter staple. When he has a big man that can score the basketball on the block, he tells them, if it's 1-on-1, score the basketball. If they decide not to bring that double, you've got to get to your move. And you see Trey Kaufman-Renn loves to get to that left shoulder, spins back, and gets to that right. He's added that to his game this season. It has done wonders for his game in the half court.
So second trip to the foul line, and 2 of 3 start for Kaufman-Renn. Rayfeld, maybe we had it backwards. We previewed the point guards coming off the top. Ball's going inside for Purdue to begin this game.
You knew that with Coach Painter. You knew coming into this season, Trey Kaufman-Renn will be the focal of this offense, being down low on that block. And coming in, a lot of guys didn't know how he would produce coming in, but knowing Coach Painter, understanding what he was saying about Trey Kaufman-Renn, you could see why he trusted this young fella to be the star on the floor of the offense.
And Purdue still pitching a shutout. Loyer getting dirty down in the deck. And a couple of turnovers, an 0 for 2 start from the floor for Penn State. 5-zip Purdue off the tip. And the foul before Smith's shot gets up. And that's on Enze, his first for Penn State.
Both Penn State bigs with a foul each early on in this ball game.
Enze with his second, so he's got to sit for a while, you'd think. If you're Mike Rhodes, is he sitting the whole half?
It depends on if Niederhauser. If Niederhauser picks up this second in this possession or before the break or before the half, I think Niederhauser is going to sit the bench and Enze's going to come back into this game.
Loyer trying to turn the corner and turned it over. One of the best things Penn State does, turn you over.
Yes, they do. Forcing 19 per game.
More hands on it for Purdue. Sideline out for the Nittany Lions. 7-1 start for Mike Rhodes and Penn State in the second year. The best start they've had in 5 years. There's some real incitement in this building tonight to the start of Big Ten play because of that. Baldwin step back and can't hit. But an offensive rebound and the putback for 2.
Coach Johnson does a great job just crashing the glass, going to get the basketball and going up to score. Fletcher Loyer's got to do a better job of hitting when that shot goes up and getting Puff Johnson out of there and going up to get that defensive rebound.
Penn State, after going the first 3.5 minutes without a basket, a score, and now they force a turnover. Out and running for the jam.
And if you're Matt Painter, those are the turnovers you just don't want. You don't want those turnovers that lead to those touchdowns, those breakout dunks, those dunks that get the crowd into it, those plays that get Penn State going on the offensive end.
Dillion with the dunk, foul down the other way. Hicks got tied up. He's called for the foul, but this is what Penn State does best. Dillion with the takeaway and the stuff. 5-4 at our first break.
Saturday on Fox Primetime Hoops. 4 storied teams tip off the inaugural Women's Champions Classic. First, Tennessee takes on Iowa. Then, first-team All-American and Player of the Year favorite Paige Beckers leads second-ranked UConn.
She's on fire
against Louisville. The Shark Beauty Women's Champions Classic, Saturday on Fox.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking
about our honeymoon.
What about Africa? Safari.
Hot air balloon ride.
Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari?
Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch?
In Montana.
with horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Good morning, commuters. Looks like we got traffic backed up for miles. Starting with a downed tree blocking East Avenue and a broken water main causing a bottleneck on the westbound lanes. We've got weekend travelers flooding the turnpike, meaning it's bumper-to-bumper traffic for the foreseeable future. I'd get comfortable. You might be there for a while.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places. Big ideas have small beginnings. They seek answers in unexpected places, sparking solutions from person to person, expanding their reach, growing stronger with each new perspective, coming together to impact the world.
Big Ten basketball is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. At the first media timeout, 1-point game, Purdue in front. Preseason favorite in the Big Ten. Penn State picked second to last, but records coming into the Big Ten opener the exact same at 7-1.
Yeah, and coming into the preseason, you just don't know. You look at Penn State, you just don't know how Niederhauser's going to be. You don't know how Freddie DeLeon is going to fit with Ace Baldwin in the backcourt. You look at what Penn State's been able to do in this non-conference, only the loss to Clemson. I have a strong feeling that this team won't miss the Big Ten tournament. They won't finish 17th in this Big Ten race. This team will have a chance to play in the big dance and maybe make a deep run into the tournament.
Hey, with all that, Raphael, can they finally beat Purdue? 17 of the last 18 have gone to the Boilers.
And I think I was a part of that loss when you think about that Purdue-Penn State game. So I think this is a game where Penn State can come out and show that they're for real, show that their non-conference hasn't been a blemish. There hasn't been a blemish on that record for no reason.
I wasn't going to go there. You went there yourself.
Oh, I remember that game.
Lawyer steps into a three. He hit his first, misses a second, but a second chance added for Purdue. And Lawyer on the attack, and it is spiked out of bounds by Niederhauser.
And that's the difference with this Penn State team this season. With Niederhauser in the middle, both offensively and defensively, he just adds an extra component. He's a rim protector. He's a finisher. But this is his deal. You bring that ball inside, the defense wall it up, and Niederhauser's going to come over on that help side and beat it up as he did on that.
Lawyer will go to the free throw line for a couple. DeLeon called for that foul. It was not on the clean work upstairs for Niederhauser. Looking like star outside hitter Jess Merzick for Penn State.
But also, I love that Penn State. I love that Fletcher Lawyer has added that to his game this season. Not just being a jump shooter, getting downhill, going to finish at the basket, finishing through contact, getting himself to the free throw line. It just opened up his game just a little bit more.
Purdue's defense was on lockdown the first 3.5 minutes. Didn't allow a basket before the media timeout, where Penn State got out and running in transition.
Niederhauser's got to have that basketball.
Fall away three, that goes. Good look for Zach Hicks to tie it up.
And if it's not Niederhauser on the block, there's a better option than Zach Hicks coming off that curl for a three-pointer. Zach Hicks is 10 of his last 17 from deep. That's good deep. That is really good defense by Ace Baldwin.
Baldwin called for the foul, reaching in on Smith after Hicks hit the fall-away three.
Zach Hicks does a great job of just playing without the ball. Trey Kaufman-Renn goes under on that handoff, and Zach Hicks knows exactly what to do with it. Then Ace Baldwin, just a pest on the basketball. That is good Big Ten defense. Got his hands in there a little bit, but you got to let those young fellas be physical out there.
So the fouls mounting for Penn State. That was the first on Baldwin, but already the 6th on the team with the aggressive style that the Nittany Lions play.
Purdue's got to take advantage of it.
They'll already be in the bonus less than 6 minutes into this first half. Kaufman-Renn has been to the foul line twice. Working late in the clock on Niederhauser, who has a foul. Lost it, got it back, out for a Lawyer three. Short on that. And Smith fighting for the second chance. And a recycled 20. Three heavy. And now Penn State clears the glass. Nick Kern gets in there. Now Niederhauser loses it. Smith with a floor burn. Now Purdue looking to push with numbers back for Penn State. It didn't matter. Harris puts it away.
It's just really good patience and footwork by Jakari Harris. Got the ball out in the break, lost it a little bit in traffic, had the wherewithal and the IQ to get that little step through and go finish with the trees at the rim.
Well, Baldwin draws the foul.
Braden Smith does a great job of getting on the floor. When your best player is playing as hard as he can, it just bleeds into the rest of your team. And then Harris just with a really good step through, really good patience down low on that block for a freshman to be able to step through and get that little finish off.
It was Baldwin with a quick response, getting to the free throw line. See how well balanced of a player he is. He can score it, he can dish it, and if there's one thing everybody learned in the Big Ten last year is he can take it away from you.
Yes, he can. One of the best defenders, not just in this year's Big Ten, but one of the best defenders ever play in this league. He gets after it. His IQ, being able to play in passing lanes, guarding on the block, gets bigger offensive players, one-on-one defense in the perimeter, just outstanding stuff.
He's on your short list, huh?
Oh, yes, he is.
Best ever in the league.
Maybe not even a short list, maybe just one.
Right at the top.
Right at the top. You think pound for pound at his size, what he's able to do defensively, it's just special.
Well, Smith trying to shake him. First just checked in and knocked away. Saved into the hands of Baldwin. Niederhauser spins into a double team and gives it up. Lawyer with that late show. Turnover Penn State.
Fletcher Lawyer did a great job of just doing his job and doing it early. See Niederhauser one-on-one on that block with Caleb First, and Fletcher Lawyer is coming over there just a cat and mouse. Just play with him. And if he goes baseline, he's trapping that basketball, and Purdue's going to rotate out of it. Niederhauser felt him and just lost the ball before it gets to that second move.
Smith able to handle the pressure with Baldwin in his pocket all the way down the floor. Lawyer has it knocked out and can't get it back. So level just ahead of the 12-minute. And done a wild shot. Purdue away with it. So 5-on-4 if they want it. Lawyer attacks the closeout. And now back to even numbers at 5-on-5. Lawyer on Baldwin. He gets a hand in again. Kern on the Euro step. That's a block. And he'll head to the free throw line.
Penn State just doing what Penn State does, using their defense to get out in transition. Nick Kern reached in there a little bit on that Fletcher Lawyer drive, got that steal, got out in transition. Braden Smith backpedaling just a little bit, and Nick Kern doesn't try to avoid him, just goes right into the chest of the moving defender, getting himself to the free throw line. Nick Kern is a player, man. He comes off the bench, but Nick Kern is a starter. He is a Big Ten level starter.
He's running it back with Mike Rhodes. You mentioned several of the guys that have. It was basically a start from scratch scenario for Mike Rhodes last year, but they've been able to bring a lot of these guys back and put a guy like Niederhauser around him.
Oh, for sure. You think about Kern, you think about Ace Baldwin's being at VCU with Coach Rose, being culture setters, and now Puff Johnson, Zach Hicks, them having a year of understanding the system on both ends. I mean, it just allows you to build your culture and build what you want to build. So when you bring in guys like Dillion or Niederhauser, they know every day what's expected of being the Penn State Nittany Lion.
Let's see if Purdue goes back inside. Niederhauser takes a seat. Enze, the other big for Penn State, with 2 fouls. He hasn't returned since.
Puff Johnson guarding Trey Coffin-Ren. That ball's got to go inside.
That never did. Miss from outside, and foul against Purdue going down Penn State's way.
It can't be the shot that Coach Painter wants. Jakari Harris is shooting the basketball 15% from deep on the year, and you got Trey Coffin-Ren with Puff Johnson on his backside. That ball has got to go inside 10 out of 10 times to Trey Coffin-Ren, the leading scorer for the Boilermakers.
Purdue as a team is shooting it well. Lawyer is the guy you want shooting those type of shots, typically. Just below 60% on the year. Penn State getting it back with the lead, and they stay in attack mode. First takes it on the chin. And he picks up 2 quick fouls in a row for Purdue. First Big Ten game of the year for Purdue and Penn State, both at 7-1. Rugged, tough, early in Happy Valley.
Friday night, the Mountain West Championship is on Fox.
Prime time!
Ashton Genty leads Boise State
Oh, what a move!
as they fight for the conference crown and a spot in the college football playoffs against UNLV. The Old Trapper Mountain West Championship, Friday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Giving.
You got to give a little, take a little.
Giving without expecting something in return. Giving that's possible through the power of Dell AI with Intel. So those who receive can find the joy of giving back.
That's the glory of love.
Red Bull gives you wings.
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's,
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
it matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
Man. Oh my God. Oh.
Kitchen Nightmares Road to Super Bowl 59 premieres January 7th on Fox.
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that sore throat. Vapocool drops? It's sore throat relief with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks Vapocool Drops.
We all need fiber for our digestive health, but less than 10% of us get enough each day. Good thing Metamucil gummies are an easy way to get prebiotic plant-based fiber with the same amount of fiber as 2 cups of broccoli. Metamucil gummies, the easy way to get your...
Well, before Matt Painter was a Purdue guard, he was just a kid from Muncie Delta High School. Took over the Purdue job when he was 35. Now, 20 years later, reached the mountaintop last year, going to the Final Four. First time since the 80s for Purdue, and the longest tenured active coaches in the major conferences. Saw a couple of these guys. Scott Drew, Bill Self, Honor Air on FS1 last night. Matt Painter, part of an elite group.
It's awesome to see what Coach Painter's been able to put together over the last 20 seasons. You look at his career, he's been at the top of the Big Ten a few times. He's been at the very bottom of the Big Ten, had some years in the middle, but he stayed himself. He's straight true to the program. He's done it his way. He's done it the Boilermaker way, and I just think he's got the job done at a phenomenal rate. I mean, the talent he brings in, it's not just the recruiting, it's the evaluation of the talent. From guys like Braden Smith, I mean, Jaden Ivey wasn't a 5-star recruit. Zach Edey, obviously, he just done a tremendous job especially these last 10 years since finishing last place in the Big Ten in 2014.
His team in a fight these first 8 minutes. Penn State leading by 2 at the under 12, with Johnson adding to it for Penn State.
You know, Connor, there's times where I sit back and I look at Coach Painter's success and I just question, how are we questioning this guy in the locker room when I play for him? Telling each other he didn't know what he was doing.
That happened more than you let on, huh?
Oh, man.
Well, now that he's been to a Final Four, there's no questioning it, right? I mean,
he went to a Final Four. We finished last place in the Big Ten. I think it all balanced out.
He's trying to get the offense going. Lawyer hit a 3. Kaufman-Rensman at the free throw line a couple of times. And Purdue will go to the free throw line the rest of this half as Stewart called for the foul. 1-1 coming up.
It's a good job by C.J. Cox coming into this basketball game, being aggressive, not coming in looking for his jump shot, getting downhill to his spot with that left hand. C.J. Cox, you saw what he could do in that Alabama game, 11 points off the bench, 3 of 3 from three-point land. He's a guy that can fill it up. He's going to be essential for this Boilermaker bench as deeper you get into this Big Ten season.
And can't hit the front end. So an empty trip for Purdue as they get into the bonus very early in this first half. Big Ten opener, a couple of 7-1 teams. Number 8 Purdue and Penn State off to their best start in a while. And Heidi got that on the way down.
I just love that drive from Puff Johnson. I mean, you know Puff Johnson can shoot the basketball. Coming to this game, 42% from deep, but he's added this to his game. Trey Kaufman-Renn, the bigger defender, closing out to him. He doesn't settle for the long contested three. He gets to his left hand, gets downhill, and gets to the basket, and gets it up on that backboard. And for Cam Heidi, come on, call that goaltend. Good defense.
Oh, here's the pressure. Dunn takes a hit after the steal.
That is just good defense by DeMarco Dunn. Just heating the freshman up. This is what Penn State does. They get into you. They pester you 94 feet. They use that defense to turn it into offense. Forcing 17 turnovers per game, averaging close to 20 points off of those turnovers. That is their deal. If you come into Penn State, you turn the basketball over, it is going to be a long night for you.
Rayfield, he was on the ground.
Yes, he was.
DeMarco Dunn was sitting down when he stole that ball.
He lives to play defense. It's culture, man. That is culture. That is getting after it. That is Mike Rhodes and his team just buying in. That is complete buy-in all around. DeMarco Dunn is a kid that doesn't play much, averages 9-10 minutes a game. That's just complete buy-in from the young fella.
Interesting way to start Big Ten play for Purdue. Of course, last year they had another ball handler with Lance Jones that was very experienced. Schedule makers putting this game on the Big Ten schedule first. You get to answer a lot of questions if you're Purdue with their guards right now.
For sure. And that was the question. You lose Zach Edey, and that's what the country was worried about. But filling that role of Lance Jones was so important for the Boilermakers coming into this season.
Kaufman-Renn pivoting, and a hook will not count because he traveled.
Just good defense from Puff Johnson. Staying big, not giving any ground, not fouling, being physical, using his body, just not giving in. And Trey Kaufman-Renn right here on his block. Just gets big, stays tall, just doesn't foul. Forces Trey Kaufman-Renn into that travel.
Kaufman-Renn and the Purdue Bigs have been able to force a little bit of foul trouble. Enze with 2 fouls. And Niederhauser also has 1. Scoring hasn't come with it.
Stepped out of bounds.
And we'll be back to Purdue. Trying to snap a 9-0 Penn State run. Just kind of methodically gone on this run, over 3 minutes on this 9-zip spurt.
Braden Smith's got to get involved in this basketball game. Hasn't attempted a field goal in the first 10 minutes of the game. He's got to play off of that ball screen action, aggressively looking to get his game on. It can't be passing out, driving the basketball to pass, driving the basketball to spray out. He's got to score the ball a little bit to get that Penn State defense to loosen up.
How much has that been Baldwin versus what's going on off ball?
It's a lot of Ace Baldwin, but also Braden Smith is a guy that just loves to pass the ball. He loves to get his teammates involved. He's not a selfish kid offensively, but sometimes you just want him to be a little more selfish.
Goes back in for Kaufman-Renn. And makes the turn, and it's out of bounds. That is off Niederhauser. He didn't think so. Penn State crowd didn't think so. Your baseline out with 9 to shoot.
Oh, that's off Trey Kaufman-Renn. Just lost the ball out of bounds.
And they did reverse it, so Penn State will get it back. On this 9-0 run that seen Purdue go scoreless the last 4 minutes.
Penn State's defense has been big time, just major league.
Penn State looking to extend what's been good beginning to the Big Ten as Braden Smith called for that foul. So you expect it to be physical when you get into the Big Ten. We're into the bonus midway through, and Braden Smith picks up his 2nd foul.
That's a big development for the Boilermakers. With Braden Smith, Coach Painter, understand it's a heady player. It's a player that played in a national championship game. He understands that he can't pick up that 3rd foul in this first half, and it looks like Coach Painter is going to trust his point guard and leave him out there.
Baldwin earns a 2nd.
Actually looks like C.J. Cox is coming in right now for the point guard, Braden Smith. depending on how the score goes. But I can't see it getting to the under 4 timeout with Brady Smith not coming to this ball game.
For Purdue, for that to happen, well, Penn State's on, it's now an 11-0 run. Understatement to say, not ideal. On another turnover, the press comes up again for Penn State, but they survive it with Heidi working back. Never quite safe. 8 turnovers, little past the midway point of the first. And there's a 9th. Heidi takes steps.
Just getting sped up, driving the basketball. That's what Penn State does. They get into you. They force you to speed up. They force you to play out of control. And Cam Heidi just with that little bit of extra step, trying to get that spin move and get back to the basket. Purdue just got to slow down a little bit. The best way to relieve pressure is to set some back screens, set some down screens, get some ball screen movement, get some player and ball movement. And they got to find a way to just relax offensively.
9 Purdue turnovers, 9 points off them for Penn State. Can't add to it with Johnson.
Got it.
Running, Heidi kicks it out. Colvin 3. And can't snap the drought. And it will be Purdue baseline out.
Just got to keep taking those. That was a great push in transition. Fletcher Lawyer with the kick ahead to Cam Heidi. And Cam Heidi does a great job at finding Miles Colvin, a 40% three-point shooter, wide open in the corner. It's a good shot. Coach Painter's got to be happy with that one. Purdue's got to take more of those, and those will start to fall.
Yeah, Lawyer and Colvin, the 2 guys especially, are good with. But they got to find somebody right now to break this seal. It's been over 5 minutes since their last points. There's Kaufman-Wren early. He's stretched out away from the basket. And going to work, one-on-one, and there is the drought snapper for Purdue.
Just taking it right to Conan Niederhauser. Understanding Niederhauser has that one foul, doesn't want to pick up that second one, just goes right into the chest of him and gets over that right shoulder back to that left hand.
A lot of pressure on Niederhauser with Enze on the bench with 2 early fouls in the post for Penn State. On that 11-0 run, lead it by 7, and Hicks drills his second 3 of the night.
But if you're Cam Heidi, you gotta go. Hicks is coming off of that ball screen. He's popping. You've got to be there on the catch, high hands. You can't close out to Hicks like as if he's a scrub. He's shooting over 55% from deep. You've got to be there on that catch. He can't have any free looks at the basket.
Mike Rhodes directing the defense on the sideline as Kaufman-Wren kicks out. And Colvin banks it in. It's a one-way to heat up.
Bank is open.
So the first 3 for Purdue since the early one for Lawyer.
Gotta keep taking the good ones.
Back-to-back trips for the score ahead of the under 8, but Penn State keeps their foot on the gas, getting to the rim with Carter.
Carter does a great job of just getting downhill, take what the defense is giving them. Strong right-hand drive to the basket, knowing Purdue doesn't have a shot blocker in the game, and an easy finish at the rim. Got to throw that basketball inside.
And Lawyer turns it over. Dillion jumps another one and has his second transition basket. Purdue's leader, Braden Smith, on the bench with 2 fouls, and Lawyer with a fall away to quiet the crowd.
It's a tough move from Fletcher Lawyer, driving downhill, getting to that right hand, under control, so he's playing off the 2 on that jump stop, spinning back over shoulder for that nice little fadeaway. Fletcher Lawyer's got to be the guy that the Boilermakers are going to go to in these final 6 minutes to crack this seal.
Dillion in traffic. It's dug out. Purdue forces the turnover. Purdue got out to the early 5-0 lead. Since then, a Penn State 11-0 run has had them in front. It's Kaufman-Wren with a little runner.
It's a hard cut by Fletcher Lawyer over the top of that handoff, attracting 2 defenders. Niederhauser has to step up, and his Trey Kaufman-Wren on that nice little short roll.
Penn State wanted a timeout. Instead, jump ball. It will be the Nittany Lions when we come back. The 11-0 run, the highlight of this first half for Penn State. Hicks hits his second. And Penn State's gotten off of turnovers, out and running with Dillion twice, leading by 7.
I'm the team mascot, and boy, am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Oh, what a hit. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate, save money on auto insurance, and be protected from mayhem, like me. Woo!
And we're back. Lauren, any advice for the fans?
Life is better with two loves, like iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE, both for only $99.99. Only at Metro.
When I was younger, my calling was to play football. But as I grew older, I realized life isn't about how many people you can knock down. It's about how many people you can lift up. At Ram, our calling is to build game-changing trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
Right now, during the Ram Wrap Up the Year sales event, get $5,000 total cash allowance on the purchase of most 2025 Ram 1500 trucks. Hurry to your local Ram dealer today.
Nothing tastes as good as that first bite. And it just got better. Get a 10-piece Chicken McNuggets for just $1.
It's only a shot.
Just throw it away.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Penn State leads the Big Ten opener behind their ferocious defense.
Yeah, this is what Penn State has done all season. They forced 17 turnovers per game, and they are right on target. They forced 10 turnovers already in this ball game and scored 11 points off of them. And it's their defense. They get after you. They're in the passing lanes. They're swiping at drives. Niederhauser's the rim protector. They give you everything you want on a defensive end, and then they play their tails off. They go as hard as they can for Coach Rhodes. You love the philosophy he's brought in from VCU. This team has committed to it. They have complete buy-in, and they get after you on a defensive end. If you come and play Penn State and you turn the basketball over 15, 16, 17 times, you cannot expect to leave out with a victory. They do an amazing job getting after you on a defensive end.
And Purdue knows that from their one loss this year against Marquette.
Yep.
Gave it up 15 times in that game. Marquette turned that into 18 points off those turnovers.
You just can't turn the ball over against good teams, especially on the road in a league like the Big Ten. You got to take care of it when you're a team like Purdue. You don't rebound it well. You've got to find ways to steal possessions.
Niederhauser off the lob from Baldwin.
And then offensively, Penn State does a great job of just driving the basketball, getting what they want. Ace Baldwin getting downhill, causes the defense to help over a little bit and get Niederhauser right at the basket.
And the best ball handler for Purdue is off the floor, and they turn it over again. Braden Smith on the bench with those 2 fouls.
Just wasn't needed. Fletcher Lawyer just got to keep that basketball, force Penn State to drop back into their man, and then Purdue can set up their offense. Purdue just going a little bit too fast here in this first half.
Baldwin hops in, leaves it for Niederhauser. That connection shows up again with an and one.
Ace Baldwin just does a phenomenal job of navigating that ball screen. Comes off, snakes it, gets downhill, plays off 2 feet, forces Traycoff and Wren to step over, and right when he sees Traycoff and Wren make that little baby step to stop the basketball, he gets the basketball out of his hands to Niederhauser right at the rim, and there's nothing Purdue could do with the 7-footer on the block.
Went for a career high 27 points against Buffalo the other day. He tags the second foul on C.J. Cox tonight.
It just adds a different dimension to this Penn State team offensively. You think a season ago, they just didn't have an outlet on the inside. They didn't have that pressure release that they can throw it into or dump it down and trust to get a basket. And Niederhauser has done that all season long. He's been exactly what Coach Rose wanted him to be early on in this season.
Yeah, to find a big that can play at this pace and this style.
Yeah, 7-footer, can protect the rim, can get out of transition and run. Big time. Purdue turns it over again.
A 12th turnover leads to another and one. Or was it?
Fletcher Loyer does a great job of getting back, squaring the basketball up, taking it right through the chest. DeMarco Dunn comes away with the charge there. Just a great job of Fletcher Loyer saving the basket there for the Boilermakers.
And one official said and one. The other said that that was a charge. It is a charge. And Smith back in there with the 2 fouls. Leaves it for Kaufman-Wren, who's short.
Niederhauser did a great job stopping the basketball and then getting back to Traycoff and Wren and then turn that shot too.
Nice move by Baldwin. Got to his spot. Wild miss. And Baldwin gets it back. Purdue ready for Hicks after he smacked a couple of threes earlier in this half. Hicks trying to break free of Loyer, who's right in his hip. Down to 3 to shoot. Got it up and put it down.
It just left him. I mean, Fletcher Loyer had the basketball. He just dropped off once Zach Hicks put the basketball down, expected Miles Colvin to go with him, and no one went with him. Wide open.
It's been a crazy couple of days in college basketball. Another top 10 team on the ropes in the first half.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. Head to the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place isn't a warehouse store. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed. This Christmas, get free assembly and delivery on your new grill at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Red Bull
Go app.
To file a claim, just tap.
Just tap right here to upload pictures, customer.
Try getting on a first name basis.
Sure. Vicky.
To track your status, just click. Super easy.
They're connecting with the mannequins.
You're doing great, everyone.
Ooh, you're a pro. Scroll, tap, scroll. Ouch! Oh. I'm cramping.
Yeah, we've all been there.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
I overdid it. Like a showboat, I just overdid it.
When you want bedtime to be a good time,
Good night, sweetheart.
it matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
Everyone's running to Subway for 3 all-new spicy footlongs. Wait, Subway did what? That's right. They're bringing the heat with cream of sriracha, jalapenos, and all-new ghost pepper bread. But hurry, these subs are only here for a limited time.
How could anyone possibly know that every single one of these pistachios is guaranteed to be wonderful? By reading right here. Wonderful pistachios are the pistachios that are wonderful with the word wonderful on them.
'Tis an ad about wireless, but please do remember, it's no holiday ad, though it runs through December. Holidays are stressful, but visible stress-free, with unlimited data and no hidden fees. Start the year with a deal that'll save you a bunch. Just $20 a month for 25 months.
Did you get the Duracell batteries?
What's it matter? Batteries are all the same. Incorrect. Only Duracell is built different, with power boost ingredients inside.
Power Boost ingredients are a unique blend of nickel and lithium. No other batteries have them. Power Boost.
Preseason player of the year in the Big Ten, Braden Smith. He'd been excellent coming into this game. 45 assists to 8 turnovers his last 5. But Rayfeld tonight, he hasn't even attempted a shot.
I think that's
SWB audio capture not registered.
You know he's an offensive savant when it comes to being that quintessential point guard. I just think he's got to be more aggressive. And I know Ace Baldwin is an all-world defender, but Braden Smith can't have 12 minutes of basketball where he doesn't attempt a shot. He's got to come off of that ball screen and look to get his game on. And I'm okay with Braden Smith, with the player of his caliber, taking a shot to get him in rhythm. He's not one of those guys that has to be in rhythm. He's got to be aggressive all game long, and he's got to get going in these final 3 minutes of the half.
Baldwin has made it tough at times, like that trip down to even be the primary guy, and an offensive foul call.
Ace Baldwin just does that to you. Gets up in Braden Smith, and then Jakari Harris just coming into him on that handoff, not getting stopped. And Ace Baldwin, just a heady veteran, didn't get hit that hard by the freshman, just understood how to sell that call to draw that foul on Jakari Harris.
That was salesman work.
Yes, it was.
Well, this is going back Purdue's way with the defense from Lawyer.
The basketballs, they reward you sometimes. Fletcher Lawyer gets out in that passing lane, gets his hand on it, and this basketball is going back.
Hicks called for his second, so you got Enze in the post with 2 fouls. You got Hicks, who's the leading scorer for Penn State now with 2 fouls.
And that's a foul for Hicks. I know you're playing hard, but you got to let that one go. I know you're going after the basketball, but you don't want to pick up your second foul in that situation if you're Zach Hicks.
So both teams in the bonus, the final 3:20 of this half. Lawyer earns a second on the 1-and-1. So Lawyer up to 8 points. Kaufman-Renn with 6. Outside of that, Purdue searching for who else can score. Against turnover happy Penn State
SWB
defense.
audio capture not registered.
And a turn on the take on Kaufman-Renn and an offensive foul. And he got drilled on that screen. Purdue gets it back. And that is the second on Niederhauser.
I'm not sure about that one. Kern is driving that basketball. Niederhauser's on the post up. Kern dribbles that basketball right into his guy and causes that foul. And that's a little bit on Kern. It's a little bit on Niederhauser turning his body into the defender. That's when Nick Kern just got to stay out of there and move that basketball. Can't drive that ball into traffic.
I'm more so not sure about that decision than you are the call.
Yeah, not sure about the decision. The call was right for sure.
So Penn State without 2 post players. Foul trouble. Haven't seen Enze return. Niederhauser probably done for the half. And Smith gives it up. Harris on the take. Now Smith, his first shot of the night. And a rebounding foul on Kaufman-Renn. That's his second foul.
Y'all are adding up here. Dude's getting after it. Dude's playing hard. Ref's trying to control the physicality of this basketball game.
Well, that was a portrait of the first half, that look from Matt Painter. I'm not sure where we go right now. That kind of seemed to be the look from Matt Painter.
Purdue just got to take better care of the basketball. You look at this Purdue team this season compared to a couple seasons. Last year, they were able to steal so many points on the offensive glass. So even when they were turning the ball over, they weren't making shots. They could steal baskets. This year's team just isn't that great on the offensive rebounding. They don't get out of
SWB audio capture not registered.
Even more imperative for the Boilers this year.
13-point lead. The inflection point, that 11-0 run. When Purdue went on a 5-minute drought, Penn State has led since. 26-11 at large, that run. Into the post, turned over. Lawyer's pass intercepted. Dillion again, out and running. Everybody left Smith, and he's got his first points of the half.
Got to continue to be aggressive off of that ball screen. Just get to a spot, be patient. Just take what the defense gives you.
Maybe that's the spark for Purdue. Smith fighting foul trouble.
Good pass.
And he made one, now he creates one, but Kern away with the rebound. Kern fills the lane, using his body to score.
And that play was started by Ace Baldwin. That little kick ahead to Dillingham, getting the basketball up the floor, allowed Penn State to get out of transition. And then Nick Kern just does a great job of flying through the lane, getting that basketball and attacking the rim.
Well, the balance showing up for Penn State. A lot of guys getting involved. And Johnson, they say, you get a foul or out of bounds? Out of bounds, off of Johnson.
Ace Baldwin does a great job of getting that basketball out of his hands, getting it up the floor to Dillion, and then keeps his hands up and finds Nick Kern slashing to the basket, going to score that thing at the rim. You gotta love when your point guard has the ability to give it up and doesn't want to over dribble.
SWB audio capture not registered.
3 Boilermakers down there.
It's a really good defense from Trey Kaufman-Renn.
Now Smith running the floor.
And that's what you want to see more of from Purdue. Use their defense to create some offensive opportunities. So much this half, we've seen Purdue slow the ball up, set up in the half court. They've got to get out and run a little bit to create some scoring opportunities.
Both times they've scored. Out for a 3. Dillion starting to feel it.
Dillion is having himself a half. 9 points already in the half. 4 or 5 from the field. Doing it in transition. Knock it down to 3. Just have yourself a game, young fella. Came into this game 7 of 28 from deep. 4 of 9 from 3 versus Buffalo in their last game. Starting to come into his own under Mike Rhodes.
The shot clock is dark. Down to the final 5 seconds of the half. Lawyer a 3. No. Dilly on the rebound. One last heave. And it's short. What a half for Penn State. They force 13 turnovers, lead the number 8 team in the country by double digits. Well, number 1 and number 2 in the country went down last night. Another upset brewing in Happy Valley tonight. 16-point lead for Penn State at the half in the Big Ten opener.
Hey, my treat today.
Thank you. But I don't think they take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted at 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past. Unlike me.
You look rad.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places
SWB
nationwide.
audio capture not registered.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. Because at the end of the day, every single round is on you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
This is dedicated to the one I love.
Nothing tastes as good as that first bite. So, get a 10-piece Chicken McNuggets for just $1.
Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Start designing. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks, your way to money.
It's only a shot.
Just throw it away.
Our God calls us.
puffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex, breathe.
What's up? You seem kind of sluggish today.
Things aren't really moving.
You could use some
SWB audio capture not registered.
System moving so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil keeps you moving. And try Fizzing Fiber Plus vitamins.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try new Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of this things that just will never come out. Every now and then I rinse it out.
Fights odor in just one wash.
Sunday, it's a huge doubleheader on Fox. First, Saquon Barkley leads the Red Hot Eagles.
Nifty run.
Against the Panthers. Then, in America's Game of the Week, Josh Allen and the Bills take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. It's a huge doubleheader Sunday on Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
Big Ten basketball is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. It is halftime in Happy Valley. It's a 16-point lead for Penn State. The favorites to win the Big Ten, again, Purdue on the ropes in the opener. And if you want to take out the champs, pretty good way to do it. Shoot 65% in the first half. That's what Penn State did.
Yeah, you shoot 65% in the first half. You force 13 turnovers. You're able to get out and score the basketball in transition. Penn State did an unbelievable job of taking those turnovers and turning them into points. 15 points off of turnovers, and then Ace Baldwin just brought the fight right to Braden Smith and the rest of the Penn State team. Embraced the physicality of this ball game all through that first half. They're winning the rebounding war. They're winning in paint. They're doing everything it takes to win the Big Ten basketball game.
Those halftime stats brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. 16-point lead, Penn State in the Big Ten opener.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Championship is on Fox. The nation's leading rusher and Heisman contender.
Oh my goodness, look at the kid go!
Ashton Genty leads Boise State.
Oh, what a move!
As they look to capture back-to-back conference crowns and punch their ticket to the college football playoffs against UNLV, the Old Trapper Mountain West Championship. Coverage begins Friday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking about our honeymoon. What about Africa? Safari. Hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch?
In Montana.
With horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
And we're back. Lauren, any advice for the fans?
Life is better with two loves. Like iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE, both for only $99.99. Only at Metro.
And now your action weather broadcast. We've got shifting weather conditions on the horizon. Expect high winds, scattered thunderstorms, cold fronts, and dense fog. It's a wild one out there.
Toyota trucks. Let's go places. Red Bull gives you wings.
When you'd rather enjoy the pool.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Get out of the pool.
It matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
You're seeing Skechers' famous glide step footwear everywhere. And now that famous design is available in hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Get the comfort and style of glide step now with the convenience of slip-ins with no bending down or touching your shoes. Try glide step Skechers slip-ins.
Saturday on Fox Primetime Hoops.
4 storied teams tip off the inaugural Women's Champions Classic. First, Tennessee takes on Iowa. Then, first-team All-American and Player of the Year favorite Paige Beckers leads second-ranked UConn.
She's on fire.
Against Louisville.
Oh, what a ball game.
The Shark Beauty Women's Champions Classic, Saturday on Fox.
Welcome to the Ram Halftime Report, sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve. We are here to serve you inside our Los Angeles studios. Mike Hill, along with Donnie Marshall, will get you back out for the second half between Purdue and Penn State very shortly. But first, we got to look ahead with our halftime highlights, sponsored by Ram Trucks. And we're tipping things off this weekend with the Big 12 Big East battle continuing as Kansas State visits St. John's. And then it's a top 25 matchup between in-state rivals, number 11 Wisconsin and 5th-ranked Marquette. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Saturday on Fox. In this matchup, the last 3 meetings has been one-sided as the Badgers won all 3 of those meetings, winning by an average of double digits right there. You see the 3-point field goal percentage and the rebounds per game. Always something that is a thorn in the shoe for Marquette when it comes to rebounding per game. So, who has the edge in this matchup this weekend?
This is a tough one. I mean, it really does feel like it's a toss-up. Marquette is a team that their high-powered offense, Cam Jones.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
He's such a tough guard. He's a rock star. Marquette has a deep bench, but they battle inconsistency at times, Mike. They're not always sure where it's going to come from if Cam Jones doesn't have it in his hands. They have to shore up their rebounding. That's always been one of their issues, even when they had Oso Iguodala last year. Wisconsin, they're a tough team defensively, efficient scoring. Your guy, John Tanji, I know you love him, 1,000-point scorer. He can get it going. But Wisconsin needs to control the tempo a little bit. You know, this is one of those games where it really does feel like a toss-up.
Right.
So I would say, if I really had to put my money on it, I would say the home team probably has the advantage. That's how close this is. They do have depth. They do have firepower, Marquette, and they're at home. So that would, in my opinion, give them the edge.
And Marquette has had a tough schedule coming off the game against Iowa State on Wednesday night. Okay, John Tanji, talk to me about this guy. I mean, he's averaging 22.3 points a game up there. How do you explain his points per game, the way he's been able to bolster his points per game? Last year, he averaged 2 points a game. 2 years ago, he was just under 15 points a game.
Yeah, last year he only played 8 games. So he was battling something, so that's why he only averaged what he averaged. But he's an AARP member, Mike. He's been in school 6 years. He's been around. Even if he hasn't played a ton of minutes, he knows how to handle big games. He knows how to perform in certain situations, and obviously he knows what Greg Gard wants from this team. So when you have veterans, those are the guys that go out there and get you wins, and he's making the most of this last year of college.
Coming off that foot injury last year in Missouri. Also Saturday is the Women's Champions Classic coming your way from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. First 17-ranked Iowa takes Florida against Tennessee. Then number 2 UConn faces 22nd-ranked Louisville. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on Fox. Second half between Purdue and Penn State coming your way.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
It's only a shot.
Just throw it away.
Giving. Giving that's possible through the power of Dell AI with Intel. So those who receive can find the joy of giving back.
When you want bedtime to be a good time,
Good night, sweetheart.
it matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
Heartburn makes you queasy? Get fast relief with new Tums Plus, upset stomach and nausea support, and love food back.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
If you look closely around the bag, you'll find a clue as to where these delicious pistachios are from. Well done, Sherlock. You found it. Wonderful pistachios are the pistachios that are wonderful with the word wonderful on them.
This holiday, with a Ring Video Doorbell, see who's coming to town.
Happy holidays!
And with Ring cameras, capture all the holiday magic. With Ring, you're always home for the holidays. Learn more at ring.com.
Here's how Deion Sanders locks in for his new talk show, We Got Time Today.
All right, baby.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Early morning workouts and the late night preparation.
Is he gonna do a pep talk every week?
All the dreams, the times we came up short, it all prepared you for this. It's on.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that sore throat. Vapocool drops? It's sore throat relief with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks Vapocool drops.
Big Ten opener from Happy Valley and Penn State by 16 after one. It's been balanced. They've forced 14 turnovers. Freddie Dillon for Penn State, leading scorer with 9 points, matching Fletcher Lawyer, the sharpshooter for Purdue.
Penn State just did a great job of taking the fight right to the Boilermakers in that first half. They came out physical, they came out aggressive, and they came out dialed in to the scouting report. Dillon did a great job of getting out in transition, finishing at the rim.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Between this Penn State team from the season ago, so many different guys can contribute on both ends. You saw DeMarco Dunn get into action. Zach Hicks made some shots. Nick Kern got into the lane and got busy. This Penn State is different. 40 points in the first half, and Ace Baldwin has not even made a field goal in the basketball game. Penn State is here to play. And for Purdue, you've got to be better with the basketball. 14 turnovers in the half. It's too many for the basketball game, but especially for one half for the Boilermakers. Brandon Smith has got to get more involved in this basketball game. And you look at Miles Colvin and Cam Heide, you look what they were able to do out of California versus NC State, and then that tournament in the MTE. Those two guys have to get going in this second half if the Boilermakers want to be able to get back in this basketball game.
Braden Smith dealt with some foul trouble in the first half. The 2 fouls. Didn't take a shot until less than 4 minutes to go. And Penn State heated Purdue up to 14 turnovers and lead it by 16 as we start the second half of the first Big Ten game of the year for Purdue and Penn State. And Smith not waiting 16 minutes to get a shot up this half. His first one missed. Kaufman-Renn puts it back and a foul.
And that's why you want Braden Smith to be aggressive. And Braden Smith is looking to get his game on. When he's going to score the basketball, it forces the defense to react. You see Braden Smith getting downhill, getting to his spot. Niederhauser has to contest that shot, which leaves Trey Kaufman-Renn at the basket. With all those smaller defenders, he's able to go up and get that offensive rebound for that putback at the rim. When Braden Smith is aggressive, it opens up the floor for everybody else in this Purdue basketball squad.
You think it was as direct as that from Matt Painter in the locker room for Purdue? Braden, shoot it more.
And you look at P.J. Thompson sitting next to Coach Painter on that bench. He's telling Braden Smith, you are the best point guard in the country. Be aggressive on offense. Go right at H.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Attacking that rim early.
First touch for Penn State, miss for Dillon. Stay down here with Penn State. That and one for Kaufman-Renn. Also tagged the third foul on Niederhauser. So we see Enze back in the post for the first time since he picked up his second foul early.
That's a big-time development for Penn State.
Oh, Dillon off the back of Lawyer. It's the like Mike move.
It worked just how they drew it up.
And it leads to foul shots. That Calvin Cambridge against Jason Kidd with the fake out.
See Ace Baldwin with the little smirk and that little huddle from his team. Threw that basketball right off of Fletcher Lawyer's back. Finds a way to get the ball to Zach Hicks. Getting down lane, getting to the free throw line. Sometimes things just work out for you.
Hicks was a big part of Penn State building that lead in the first half. Hit a couple of threes, had to respect him. Then he shut off the mid-range, too.
You look at Hicks, you got to understand, he's 50 from the field. He's 55 from the three-point line. Plays within himself offensively, doesn't force it. It's exactly what you want in your four-man if you're Coach Rose. Defends at a high level, just does it all.
Penn State cleaning up at the free throw line, 13 of 15. Three is short for Heidi, but he gets it back. And right on the attack, using the athleticism, but he missed the layup. Dillion nails the three.
It's a 5-point swing. Cam Heidi misses that layup in transition. Ace Baldwin with a beautiful push in transition, finding Dillion stepping into it.
And Kaufman, Wren, quick attack. The hang in the hit.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
You can't attack their press just to bring it up and set up offense. You got to attack that press to go score it, just as though Purdue did in that last position.
Purdue has had some success when they've pushed in this game. We saw it 2 or 3 times in the first half. Saw it there. Enze short on the lob.
Good idea. Yeah, Fletcher Lawyer.
Well, Smith pushes again up ahead to Lawyer. Fast break working for Purdue.
He's got to find ways to steal baskets. Penn State wants to get up and down, and Boilermakers are not running from it in this half. They're using their defense to get out in transition and flipping it right on Penn State, trying to get themselves back into this basketball game.
Now, Penn State built their lead just like that. And then Hicks short on the three. So for Purdue looking for a window. Back inside single digits, and Kaufman Wren lost it. He looked adamant that it was off of Penn State.
Trey Kaufman Wren normally doesn't show this much emotion, especially after a call. Gets the basketball that mid post.
Well, he was right.
Puff Johnson with the tip behind, but Trey Kaufman Wren, he was right. Enze hit that basketball out of bounds for sure. Don't see Trey Kaufman Wren get that emotional. Normally a even kill guy, level-headed. But you got to know he was right about that call.
It was America's easiest lip read. Come on.
Come on, man.
14-point Penn State lead. They've only beaten Purdue once in their last 16 games, including 8 in a row that Purdue has won. And on the sideline, Hicks steps out.
I mean, that's a stat, Penn State. The player, they've got to know that. They've got to know whether they were a part
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Purdue squad. And I can remember being a player in this league. You know who you haven't beaten. You know what arenas you haven't won in. You know what head coaches you haven't got a W against. So this means something to these guys to be able to try to come away with the victory over this Purdue team.
Rafael Davis undefeated in Eugene, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, and Los Angeles. You know that.
I am, for sure. Lost to Washington State in the MTE, but then lose in Washington.
Undefeated in Big Ten games out west. There's Kaufman Wren headed to the free throw line for 2.
And that's what I want to see more of from Trey Kaufman Wren. Not wait for the basketball in the block. Don't just wait for a post up. Don't wait for that post feed. We've seen so much of that inverted pick and roll from that 1 to the 5. Use that ball screen to get downhill and get to that strong hand to be able to get to the free throw line.
Exactly what Kaufman Wren does. Trying to build on an 11-point night. He's 3 of 6 in the foul line, though. And makes the correction on the second.
It's a big possession here for Penn State. You got to get something good. Last 2 possessions has been 2 pass and shot.
No pass, easy layup.
Can't get anything better than that. Ace Baldwin coming off of that ball screen. Trey Kaufman Wren not in line. Defense doesn't switch. This is right to the basket with that left hand. An easy drive for the young fella to get his first field goal of the basketball game.
Not exactly the multiple touches on multiple sides of the floor that you hear coaches talk about.
It was not. But sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you.
And Baldwin builds the lead back to 15.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Time out of the second half. And Smith had Baldwin on his hip and drew the contact.
Good job from Braden Smith. Just keeping Ace Baldwin on his hip, get him on that backside. That patience off of that ball screen forces Ace Baldwin to reach in there out of frustration. Braden Smith is way more aggressive in this second half than he was to start that first half of the ball game. Got to keep taking it right to Ace Baldwin.
And just tagged the second foul on Baldwin. Yeah, against Smith, didn't take a shot. First 12 minutes he was on the floor tonight. Kaufman ran, they allowed him to play through it. Johnson had the defense in the post.
Puff Johnson's doing a great job down low on the block as a smaller defender. Just fighting.
Quick step Baldwin, out for a Johnson three.
Just shows you the versatility of this Penn State basketball squad. You see Puff Johnson playing the 5 defensively and then offensively able to step out and knock it down from deep. Over 42% from the three-point line.
And scoring coming from a little bit of everywhere for Penn State right now as Kern called for the foul. Behind first. Lead is 18 after the Baldwin setup. A beauty.
Sunday, it's a huge doubleheader on Fox. First, Saquon Barkley continues his incredible season as the Red Hot Eagles take on the Panthers. Then, in America's Game of the Week, Josh Allen and the Bills surging forward, touchdown, take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. He's got it! It's a huge doubleheader. Sunday on Fox, home of Super Bowl 59.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Then clean someone else's.
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
It matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. Make ribbons here.
Want a great idea for a holiday gift? Give hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on. There's no bending down and no touching your shoes. Plus, hands-free Skechers slip-ins are perfect for everybody, from kids to grandparents. Give your loved ones hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
Tomorrow night on Fox, it's a fight for the Mountain West Conference crown. 20th ranked UNLV takes on Heisman contender Ashton Jeanty and 10th ranked Boise State. Coverage begins tomorrow at 7 Eastern on Fox. Well, the Heisman race, it's mostly turned into a two-man race. Ashton Jeanty against Travis Hunter of Colorado. And when you're on that list of the last few running backs to win the Heisman Trophy, you know you got a really good shot. He's doing stuff that Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Reggie Bush did. Also Barry Sanders, going back to the late 80s.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Record. During that break, Matt Painter not happy about the action going on with Trey Kaufman-Renn. He got teed up.
Yeah, Coach Painter just fighting for his guys. You see Trey Kaufman-Renn a few possessions in a row. One possession, a call didn't go for him, went against his way. Then that next possession, Trey Kaufman-Renn, Coach Painter, feel as though he was fouled on the block, which led to that Puff Johnson three-pointer on another end. Coach Painter just trying to fight for his guys. He's trying to get his guys going, trying to give them some energy, trying to get them going on the road, using that as a tactic. for his guys, but more importantly, just trying to fight for Trey Kaufman-Renn. You can see the frustration coming from TKR, and Coach Painter just wants to step in a little bit.
So Ace Baldwin steps in to take the technical foul shots. Chance to make this a 20-point game. And this matches the largest deficit of the season for Purdue. They trailed by 20 against Marquette, and their one loss.
Just got to take it one possession at a time. You're not going to get all 20 points back in 1 or 2 possessions. You've got to have a couple stops in a row, a couple scores in a row, and take it 1 minute at a time.
And that's out of bounds. Ace Baldwin thought it was his ball. It's not.
He just does a great job of getting his hands in there, getting his hands on balls, causing deflections, just trying to get extra possessions for his team.
He's never not moving down here.
Yes. Even when he's not guarding the ball, he's like a center fielder, just safety.
And the Lawyer guarded tightly by Hicks. Open look. Harris off the shot fake, gets a better look, but it's short. A chance to add to this lead. Penn State shot at 65% in the first half. They're at 50% since halftime.
SWV audio capture, not registered.
That's a good way to put it.
DeLeon backs it up. Got to get busy. Down to 4 to shoot. It's a 3 for Johnson that rolls over the top.
Good defensive possession by the Boilermakers. Flying around, playing on the string, forcing Penn State into a tough shot at the end of the shot clock.
Now down on this end, trying to find a third scorer tonight. It's been Kaufman-Renn and Lawyer both in double digits. And a foul out wide on Baldwin. Excuse me, on Johnson. Puff Johnson called for his first.
Basketball's got to find Trey Kaufman-Renn's hands inside. Good pass.
Kaufman-Renn gives it up, and it's first on the reverse.
Trey Kaufman-Renn is so good in that short roll off of that ball screen, catching the basketball, that Big Ten logo. It just knows how to make a play, rather be for himself or finding a teammate in Caleb First at the rim. And First does a great job of just playing in that dunker spot, making himself available for that catch and that finish.
Johnson bangs his way in.
Known as a shooter, but he can get down low and make some hay with his physicality down on that block, get into that left hand, little floater shot in that mid-range.
Showing his inside-outside game. He's already hit a 3 in this game, and with Purdue playing 2 bigs, going right at him. Smith gives up. Kaufman-Renn strips, and off of him and out.
That is just beautiful defense from Nick Kern. Guarding 2 people at one time. Sees the
SWV audio capture, not registered.
And then reaches in there and gets all ball for that steal to go Penn State's way. Nick Kern, he's a guy that I would take with me to any basketball court in America. Just does it all on both ends of the floor. Doesn't care about how many points he scores. Just going to give himself up for the team. He's a screener. He's a cutter. He's a driver. But he's a big-time defender.
And a major reason why Penn State has forced 18 turnovers. And with 13 and a half to go. And off that cut, Johnson gets fouled. He's having an active night. And just hit the little turnaround. Now he goes to the free throw line.
I mean, this Penn State ball club, they understand that Ace Baldwin is 4th in the country in assists, averaging over 8 per game. So when he's driving that basketball, they have the wherewithal to just cut. They know their point guard is going to see them at the basket if they make themselves open. They don't stand and wait for them. They are active without the basketball, which is why Ace Baldwin finds Puff Johnson on that cut to the basket.
That play that Kern made, Penn State football defensive end denied Dennis Sutton, gave Kern a high five. Dennis Sutton in the house before they play Oregon on Saturday night in Indianapolis for the Big Ten Football Championship.
You gotta love when all the programs on campus are all bought in and all together as a unit, as an athletic department.
This is a huge week. Penn State volleyball is hosting the opening weekend of the NCAA volleyball tournament. Katie Schumacher-Cawley, the Big Ten Coach of the Year, going to foul on Baldwin.
Not the foul you want to pick up if you're an ace baller. 40 feet away from the basket, picking up your third foul in that moment is just not needed.
It's his third, so something to keep your eye on if Purdue can climb back from what's their biggest hole of the season.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Smith didn't take it. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Getting real late now. Down to 3 to go. He's got to shoot it. And he can't get up a good look. Smothering defense for Penn State.
Really good defense from Penn State, but Braden Smith had an open one. He came off of that ball screen. He jumped up as if he was going to shoot that ball and then just passed it. And then this is just great defense. Hicks stays down. Ace Baldwin comes over to help. Understand that shot clock is going down. This unbelievable defense to end the shot clock for Penn State. But Braden Smith, he's got to be aggressive. He's got to shoot that first one off of that ball screen. Sometimes his better shot is his first shot.
Oh, that ball buzzing around. It ends in the slam. Nick Kern flying high. Turnover.
Painter gonna get Braden Smith out of this ball game, it feels like. Nick Kern does a great job of going to finish at the basket, but Penn State whips that basketball around the perimeter. It goes from the first to the second side, and Nick Kern just playing off of that closeout, going to hang on rims at that basket, understanding that is his game. Get downhill and finish at the basket. Penn State is doing an awesome job. Their 11th assist in the game on 18 field goals.
I know it's night 1 of the Big Ten. But Rayfel, is this real or is this one good half plus for Penn State?
Oh, this is real. You look at the game they lost against Clemson. I mean, they turned the ball over 17 times and lost to a really good Clemson team.
SWB audio capture not registered.
This Penn State team is serious. They defend at a high level. They have rim protection. They have depth offensively. They have guys that can shoot the basketball. They get up and down. This Penn State team is a team that can go dancing in March, no doubt about it, and compete to win the Big Ten championship.
Well, more good defense. Hicks is popped out of bounds.
I mean, you look at so many people.
An 8-1 start for Penn State in their sight. Up big on number 8 Purdue in front of a lively crowd in Happy Valley.
Saturday on Fox. 4 storied teams tip off the inaugural Women's Champions Classic. Tennessee takes on Iowa.
She's on fire.
Then first-team All-American Paige Beckers leads second-ranked UConn against Louisville. The Shark Beauty Women's Champions Classic, Saturday on Fox.
The goal is confidence.
Kobe Jones leads it 1-0.
Confidence to make quicker cuts. Confidence in knowing I have superior handling. And confidence in my performance, no matter the conditions. Now that's a smart choice. Continental, the smart choice in tires.
Everyone's running to Subway for 3 all-new spicy footlongs. Wait, Subway did what? That's right. They're bringing the heat with cream of sriracha, jalapenos, and all-new ghost pepper bread. But hurry, these subs are only here for a limited time.
Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Start designing. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks.
SWB audio capture not registered.
She has no recollection of the last 8 years.
Doc, series premiere, January 7th on Fox.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that sore throat. Vapical drops? It's sore throat relief with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try new Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
What's up? You seem kind of sluggish today.
Things aren't really moving.
You could use some Metamucil.
Metamucil psyllium fiber helps keep your digestive system moving so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil keeps you moving. And try Fizzing Fiber Plus vitamins.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the things that just will never come out. Every now and then I rinse it out.
Fights odor in just one wash.
Penn State student section thinking about matching some of those pictures you saw last night in college basketball. Number 1 and number 2 going down. They've done this before. Number 11 Wisconsin came here last January and ended up in a bunch of bouncing Penn State students at midcourt. Then at Rec Hall, the home of the volleyball and wrestling team. Intimate environment. They stormed the court again. That was a 7-point Illinois lead. With 36 seconds left, they came back and won it. Tonight, Mike Rhodes' team has been in control most of this game.
Got to find a way to finish out these final 12 minutes of the basketball game. Penn State, they had some turnover issues, so they got to figure out taking care of the basketball to finish the game out. But Ace Baldwin has been special. Puff Johnson has really took it up a step in this second half. They have taken Purdue out of anything they want to accomplish offensively.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Purdue's got to find a way to get some stops in a row if they don't want to get blown out of this gym.
We had a game going to halftime yesterday, Ohio State, Maryland, that was 50-17. What's more surprising, that score or this score?
No, that score yesterday was so surprising. I mean, Ohio State with only 17 points in the first half. Maryland looked like a bunch of pros out there.
And Penn State not slowing down. Kern right at the rim.
They just understand who they are offensively. They just take good shots from perimeter, but more times than not, it's Ace Baldwin getting downhill, creating for others at the rim.
Got flat, and Johnson called for his second foul. Bonus time for Purdue the rest of the half.
Fletcher Lawyer is just so good at drawing those fouls, especially those off-the-ball fouls where he's setting that screen. He sees the defense trying to shoot that gap, trying to get through the screen, and he just takes it right through the chest. He's done this 4 or 5 times throughout the year. Just masterful at drawing those fouls. Sells it a little bit, but just does it the right way.
That's legit, yeah.
Yeah, it's legit for sure. He sees a defensive guy sprinting full speed, trying to get through a screen, and he just stands there and takes it. So many offensive guys, they'll just get out of the way and not screen anybody. But Fletcher Lawyer holds his ground and takes that right through the chest and gets his team 2 free throws.
Well, Lawyer has led the team for Purdue tonight. He has 13. Kaufman-Renn has 12. The most anybody else has for Purdue, 4 points. Kern in on Lawyer.
Good help.
Will help Sean. Out for a Baldwin 3. Cashes it in.
Riley Burgess does his job. Comes over to help. Forces Nick Kern to pass that basketball out of there. But Braden Smith, C.J. Cox, just too slow to Ace Baldwin on that catch. Ace Baldwin knocks it down.
Too much.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
That's his 4th foul. If it counts as a personal. Curry does a great job as finding him out of that double team. Ace Baldwin knocks it down. That's a weak technical. That's weak. Kids just having some fun. Just you see so many guys in college basketball throw up those threes. They point that 3 in the opposite direction. Sometimes it's called, sometimes it's not. It's got to be some consistency there.
Mike Rhodes is trying to call DJ Karstensen, the official, over. Because Mike Rhodes immediately went to the defense of his player, saying, "What'd he do?" Looked like kind of a similar reaction you gave us verbally.
Yeah. It's a tough spot right there for Ace Baldwin to pick up his 4th foul.
So Lawyer knocks in a couple of free throws. A technical foul on Baldwin. So, yep, he's got 4. 4 personal fouls. And with the energy and the life of Penn State's full court defense sitting on the bench now. So if there's a window for Purdue, it's probably got to be right now.
Yes, it is. They've got to start with their defense. Coach Painter likes to cause it some kills.
Ooh, Kaufman-Wren called for pushing off.
Oh, that's a tough call. Ref's just trying to get control over this basketball game right now. Trey Kaufman-Wren cuts across the lane, just pushing up, just being physical. I mean, that's just a good, strong physical post up, using his lower body to get space and get position. It's called for the offensive foul.
He has 3 fouls.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Baldwin with 4 for Penn State. And Dillion steps in, mid-range pop goes.
Really good creation from Nick Kern off of that ball screen. Gets baseline, finds Dillion on that drift pass. And Dillion, he's already 2 for 2 from 3. So Miles Colvin closes out as if he's a shooter. And that little pump fake gets him open for that mid-range jump shot.
The lawyer denied. Niederhauser blocks it into the front row.
Niederhauser hasn't scored it well this game, but he has been awesome at protecting the rim. This is his 3rd or 4th block on Fletcher Loyer, driving that basketball right into the big fella, and he's sending it away right out of bounds.
Will Berg checks in for Purdue. So some more size in there for the Boilermakers. Smith, corner jumper goes.
Got to tie it together with some stops if you Purdue. Can't trade baskets.
And they almost had their stop. Niederhauser, the follow-up and the foul. First foul on Berg, fresh into the game for Purdue. And Penn State, just the 1 loss in non-conference. Took it on the final game they played in November before beating Buffalo for starting Big Ten play 7-1.
SWB audio capture not registered.
They could be the surprise team in the Big Ten.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, obviously very early, but this has been impressive.
Oh, no, on all fronts, offensively, defensively, this Penn State team, they are dialed in to this basketball game.
And the 1 loss that Penn State has to Clemson, and Clemson just beat number 4 Kentucky.
Yep.
Court storming of their own this week. Late clock, down to 5 to shoot, and Kaufman-Wren pulls and hits.
A big shot.
And Kaufman-Wren and Loyer both with 15 for Purdue. Dunn. Heavy. And catapults right back out to him. Four to shoot. Niederhauser short. Tip back. No. 4th chance this trip. 5th chance this trip. And Kern was right on the doorstep.
Purdue just got lucky on that possession. They have got to hit someone and come away with a defensive rebound. It's just too easy for Penn State inside.
And Smith snaked in, and it leads to a 3 for Harris.
A big shot for Jakari Harris. Came into this basketball game 3 for 20 from deep on the season. So seeing one go down on the road here for the young fella has got to feel good for his confidence.
Carter had fallen down. He rejoined the play. Now down to single digits in the shot clock. Dillion in and out. under
SWB audio capture not
Penn State
registered.
in control since the under 16 of the first half. That goes around and swirls out for Cox. Marco Dunn re-attack.
Penn State doing a great job of using clock offensively.
And converting. Use the clock. Hit with Dunn.
Nick Kern is like a second point guard in the half court for Penn State. His ability to get baseline and find shooters on the drift has been special in this second half. The third time he's done that.
A 22nd turnover of the night for Purdue. Well, Penn State not pulling off. They're above 50% from the floor. They're leading by a bunch. Inside 8 to go.
Hey, my treat today. Thank you. But I don't think they take that here.
Of course they take Discover. It's accepted at 99% of places.
99%? I didn't know that.
You're stuck in the past. Unlike me.
You look rad.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places nationwide. Earn cash back at all of them.
When you want bedtime to be a good time,
Good night, sweetheart.
it matters where you stay. Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. Because it's the things you make that show what you're made of. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
SWB audio capture not registered.
It's that time of year. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Alrighty. Who's ready for my famous charred duck?
Like, to check the mascot first before bringing food to a tailgate.
Touch this baby.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Playing football was rough. If my back could talk. What do you do to me? You could have just maybe played the flute? But since going hands-free with Max Cushioning Skechers Slip-ins, my back has no complaints. I just step in and they're on. Try Skechers Slip-ins.
Big Ten basketball is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Been all Penn State since the under 16 of the first half. Running out of adjectives for Ace Baldwin. I don't know, let's try a new one. Stupendous? That's what he's been tonight.
He's been awesome. I mean, he's dishing the basketball at a high rate, 6 assists on the night, getting downhill, making the right play, and then when it's presented itself, he has got his game on. 11 points in the ball game, doing it in a plethora of ways, getting to the rim, knocking down some threes.
SWB audio capture not registered.
Against Braden Smith thus far in this ball game, taking the fight right to Braden.
With that is come a little bit of foul trouble. That's why you see Ace Baldwin on the right side of your screen sitting. Picked up a technical foul after he hit a three.
Yeah, just to be clear, there's no place for the gun reactions in basketball and college sports to put up 3 fingers at a player. But on that last possession, I just really felt as though Ace Baldwin was doing the ice in his vein celebration that we've seen D'Angelo Russell start in this league 10 years ago.
When he was at Ohio State, that became heavily popular.
Oh, he hit a 3 on me in my face and then did it to me. I can still remember that feeling to this day.
How did it feel?
Felt terrible.
You want to move on, don't you?
I do, quickly.
All right.
Lost that game at Ohio State.
Well, lucky for you, DeMarco Dunn's at the free throw line, so we can talk about that, or we can relive tough loss for you.
Let's talk about DeMarco Dunn.
All right, take it away, or I'm going to pepper questions at you about your night at Ohio State. We got 5 guys that have gone into double digits tonight for Penn State. It hasn't just been what we came used to with Penn State when they won last year. They've got to force turnovers and then hopefully hit enough shots. It's been all-around game.
What do you think about it? They have 71 points to this point. Ace Baldwin has made 2 field goals. You said it, Connor. Last season it was forced turnovers. Maybe we make some threes. But Ace Baldwin had to have a big one for Penn State to beat good teams. And now with their depth, with their athleticism, with their guys that are bought into this continuity offensively, it's just showing right now early. They have a lot of guys that can beat you. It's Dillion in the first half. It's Puff Johnson here in the second half. Niederhauser has showed some spots. Kern has gotten in on the action. Zach Hicks shoots it over 50% from deep. This
SWB audio capture, not registered.
He slides back door. Smith gives it up. CJ Cox from the mid-range gets a nice bounce.
Good patience from the young fella. Doesn't get sped up in that mid-range. Lets the defense fly by him. It just takes what Penn State is giving him and knocks down that nice little 15-footer.
Carter gives it up. Dunn checked by Smith. And Hicks never got there because C.J. Cox picked it off. Cox looking for back-to-back buckets. He's got a chance at 5 in a row individually.
It's a really good job by C.J. Cox in transition, pushing that basketball to score, getting out on the break, head up. And Purdue doing a good job of using their defense to create some offense, create some easy baskets at the rim. C.J. Cox getting in on this action in this second half.
The guys Purdue added as a potential pressure release with losing guys like Lance Jones. Of course, losing the big shadow in the post, Zach Edey. But outside of that, a lot back for Purdue. That's why they were picked to win the Big Ten again. Interesting, right? Because Penn State also has a lot back. They were picked 17th.
Yeah, it made no sense to me in the preseason. You look at what Penn State was bringing back. You look at Penn State winning 10 Big Ten games last season in Coach Rowe's first year at it, and you pick them 17th the preseason. I guess you don't know how Niederhauser was going to work out. You didn't know how Dillion was going to work out. But this Penn State team, they bring back just as much continuity-wise as when you look at it Purdue. Their core 4 of Kern, Hicks, Puff Johnson, Ace Baldwin Jr. are as good as any.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Do you have a vote?
I did not have a vote. I'm not important enough for that, man.
There's the baseline out for Purdue. I was going to say you could say that, but then if you're going to tell me you voted that way. These are the guys that Penn State has leaned on tonight, and 4 of the guys you see on that list are guys that were here last year, year 1 with Mike Rhodes.
And now they understand really what Coach Rhodes want from them. They understand how hard they have to play in that press defense. They understand the continuity offensively, and then they understand each other better. When you have guys like that, 4 guys brought into the system, it's easy to fit in a Niederhauser. It's easy to fit in a Dillion because those 4 guys, those are your culture setters. You add DeMarco Dunn in there off the bench, this Penn State team is extremely deep.
It's been fun, whether it was with Micah Shrewsbury or with Mike Rhodes. This Penn State team the last few years has given you something stylistically that's different.
Oh, for sure. It's different. It's like playing a non-conference game in conference. It prepares you not only for the rest of the conference season, but it's going to prepare this Purdue team for when they get into the tournament and they have to play those non-conference games against a team that may pressure you 40 minutes for a basketball game.
Whether it was the booty ball with Jalen Pickett or this up-tempo, really fun defensive style for Penn State, they try to close it out 4-23 from a top 10 win.
From creating memories finding the perfect gift? Let us make this holiday season a little easier. Right now, save up to $60 on select AS battery sets. Happy
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Hello? Hi, I'm Gemini.
Hi.
How can I help you?
So I just talk?
Yes, but normal.
We can have a conversation about anything you like.
Huh.
Anything?
Try looking for a small round bolt somewhere on the oil pan.
Got it.
Does the child seem ready for bedtime? No.
And then I looked down and I had spaghetti fingers.
Well, in dreams, noodles can sometimes represent creativity. Have you had
Get the all-new Google Pixel 9 series with Gemini Live. Inside every dog is a struggle between good
Oh boy, those look really good.
and fun.
No way they're as fun as our chewy squeaky chicky.
No, let's have some good.
More chew means more fun. Have fun.
Good.
Fun.
But there doesn't have to be.
Good and fun. Bye-bye, chickie.
Let your dog indulge both sides with the delicious, long-lasting chew sessions of good and fun treats for dogs. Let dogs dog.
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's,
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
it matters where you stay.
Thank you.
Stay and save up to 20% off. Hilton for the stay. Future-proof your home and garden with AARP today. Harvest the rewards for years to come. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Giving. Giving that's possible through the power of Dell AI with Intel. So those who receive can find the joy of giving back.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Programs tip off the inaugural Shark Beauty Women's Champions Classic. First Tennessee against Iowa, then Paige Beckers. Second-ranked UConn against Louisville. It all begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Paige Beckers with a Paige Beckers-like line to begin the year. Top 5 in the Big East in all those categories. UCLA, they beat South Carolina. They're number 1 in the country. And Juju Watkins, I think she was mad she wasn't on some lists.
Juju Watkins is a bucket. 40 points against Cal Baptist, but it was 9 of 11 from the three-point line, knocking them down all over the floor. Juju Watkins is a monster, averaging 37 points a game over her last 2. She can score the basketball with the best of them. A joy to watch play ball. But yeah, she wasn't on some best shooters in the country list, and she came out and she proved the country that she is indeed one of the best shooters in women's basketball.
Yeah, you could say 9 for 30. All right, she was getting them up, and of course 9 are going to go in, but 9 for 11.
9 for 11 is some big-time basketball.
Well, final 4 minutes here. Penn State trying to close out a win against number 8 Purdue, and they get a second chance on this trip.
That's been the game for Purdue in the second half. They haven't been able to come away with that defensive rebound.
9 offensive rebounds on the night for Penn State, among several other things that have gone well in Happy Valley for the home side and Mike Rhodes.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking
About our honeymoon.
What about Africa? Safari.
Hot air balloon rides.
Swim with elephants.
Wait, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning.
Or put the money towards a down payment.
On a ranch
In Montana.
with horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase
SWB audio
branches and
capture,
tools like
not
WealthPlan to help
registered.
keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan.
Good morning, commuters. Looks like we got traffic backed up for miles. Starting with a downed tree blocking East Avenue and a broken water main causing a bottleneck on the westbound lanes. We've got weekend travelers flooding the turnpike, meaning it's bumper-to-bumper traffic for the foreseeable future. I'd get comfortable. You might be there for a while.
Toyota Trucks.
Let's go places.
Hurry up, Agent. Only 20 seconds left.
But which wire should I cut? The red or the blue or the...
Well, it's usually always the blue one.
But there is also a green one and a yellow one.
Oh, there. Red Bull. Behind you. Drink it now.
Of course. Too late.
No Red Bull, no wings.
Connor Onion, Rayfeld Davis. Happy Valley is on upset watch tonight. Number 8 Purdue is on the ropes because of an Nittany Lions smothering defense all night.
The defense has been outstanding. They're in passing lanes. They're swiping at the basketball, coming away with steals. 13 steals on the night for Penn State. They forced 22 turnovers, which have led to
SWB audio capture, not registered.
For the Nittany Lions, they are getting after Purdue on the defensive end, taking Purdue Boilermakers out of anything they want to accomplish offensively, and then taking it right back to them offensively. This Penn State team came into the preseason at 17th in the Big Ten, and they are taking it right to the preseason #1 team in the league.
Has the students on the edge of their seat, like they were in Durham, North Carolina last night, like they were in Omaha, Nebraska, like they were in Clemson, maybe number 4 Kentucky.
One of the better parts of college basketball.
Inside 4 to go, and tapped from behind by Baldwin, and he's a physical comedian, Ace Baldwin.
Wears his emotions right on his sleeve. Does a great job getting back into this play with that little back tap. He wanted it to go off C.J. Cox, but the ref made a great call keeping that basketball with the Bullets. That is just not the pass you want if you're Purdue, throwing that basketball into all that traffic on that out of bounds, under out of bounds.
23rd turnover of the night. All those guys across your screen in double digits scoring for Penn State. Cox commits the foul. Baldwin has a 1-and-1 on the 9th team foul for Purdue.
I mean, that's Penn State's deal this season. It's not one guy that's going to beat you offensively. It's a collective. They have 5-6 guys that can score the ball at a high level, and they just play for each other. They share the basketball. They're happy when each other scores. And then when you have a point guard, an ace ball, that can set the table for others, that defends at a high level, that plays 100% to his 100% ability every single possession, it just bleeds into the rest of your team out there on the floor.
Purdue's
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Performance of Cam Jones from Marquette, who went for a triple-double that night. It's been Baldwin and many others for Penn State. I mentioned the 5 guys, all the starters have double digits tonight.
Been the turnovers. I mean, another turnover for Purdue there. The 24th turnover of the basketball game. You can't play good people and expect to turn the basketball over at a high rate and expect to win those games. It's the Marquette game all over again. It's here at Penn State. You think about Purdue's next game against Maryland. That's Maryland's deal to turn you over and get out of transition. Purdue has got to find a way to take better care of the basketball and not get sped up in the half court.
It'll be back at Mackey Arena on Sunday. Maryland team that's going to be feeling good after 24-point win last night to open up Big Ten play against Ohio State.
Maryland is real. Maryland, another team, picked 10th to finish in the Big Ten in the preseason. Another team that's going to be right there fighting to win the Big Ten coming in March.
If you're a Purdue fan, you'd love to see Penn State on the schedule again soon, but unfortunately for Purdue, that's not going to happen. This is a one-and-done in this series in the regular season. So they'll have to be in the Big Ten tournament or in the NCAA tournament. And they try to get it back unless Purdue does something real miraculous in the final 3:20. Got the feet set. Colvin pours in a 3. It's been since that 11-0 run in the first half that Penn State's been in control. And Baldwin, no. First 5 points of the night went to Purdue. It looked like it was going to be a grind.
SWB audio capture not registered.
And an absolute avalanche for the Nittany Lions, led by their defense.
Penn State just took the fight right to the Boilermakers. They were the more physical team. They were more active. They were getting those 50-50 balls, diving on the floor, making the extra pass offensively. But it was their defense, like you said, Connor. It was forcing turnovers, getting out in transition, which caused a separation in this basketball game.
And Johnson on the take, no. Tapped out by Kern. It's Purdue ball. And here's what's coming up for Purdue. They get Maryland back at home, and then they dip back into what's not going to be an easy run. Texas A&M. Auburn did just lose, so they'll be probably still in the top 10.
Yeah.
But a little bit lower ranked. That doesn't make it any easier of a game coming up.
But then you look at Toledo. Toledo has some good guards that can press you, that can turn you over in the full court. I mean, this Boilermaker team, it does not get easier for them after this Penn State game. Not even a little bit.
Fear the MAC is what I'm hearing you say.
Oh, for sure.
So, at Rutgers this weekend for Penn State, and or early next week for Penn State. Be on Big Ten Network against Coppin State. And then the turn of the new year, and then it's a full-on sprint.
I mean,
Big Ten.
That Ace Baldwin, Dylan Harper matchup, you better have your popcorn on hand. That is going to be a phenomenal matchup. The freshman point guard, in my opinion, should be the #1 draft pick in this upcoming draft. You look at, Ace Baldwin, excuse me, one of the better defenders, not just in the Big Ten, but in the entire country. With those two going head-to-head, it'd be a joy to watch.
That's got to be one of the first ace versus ace matchups in college basketball history. Ace Baldwin against Ace coming up on Tuesday next week.
It messed me all up as Nick Kern gets to the basket. That is
SWB audio capture not registered.
In the country, that wiry strength, that long body allows him to make plays, get in the lane, and go and finish over much bigger defenders. Will Berg at 7'3" can do nothing with Kern when he's attacking that rim, going to score.
And Kern on the night, 12 points. One of the 5 different scores that Penn State has got. Inside the final 2 minutes now.
And that's what you want to see for Purdue. You want to see them keep fighting. Coach Painter would always say, ring the bell, don't quit. And right there, Riley Burgess get to the basket, going to finish. Riley Burgess, Will Berg, C.J. Cox. These are very important minutes for these young fellas to build some rhythm going into Purdue's upcoming schedule that we saw a couple minutes ago.
Down 18, down most of the night. Purdue's 1 loss coming into Marquette. And that's off. Final minute and a half. Penn State still playing hard. Missing the layup. Berg scoops it up.
Good contest at the rim.
The 3 goes for Cox.
It's a really good push by Miles Colvin in transition. Continue to play the game the right way. C.J. Cox sprints the court, sets his feet on that wing, and knocks it down from deep.
And through the back door. Hicks heads to the free throw line.
Penn State's versatility is just super impressive. I mean, that's Nick Kern at the top of the key playing your point guard position, throwing that backcourt pass.
And 24 turnovers tonight. It's the most that Purdue's had in a game since they played
SWB audio capture not registered.
And that was the early building of that great team that Derrick Rose was on in 2008 from Memphis. Chris Douglas Roberts, Joey Dorsey on that Memphis team.
Douglas Roberts, man, was so good. Two to the bucket.
That was a fun team.
Yes, it was.
Loved the days. Mario Chalmers shot a few years later. And Cox puts up another tough one, batted around into Burgess's hands, and he puts another one away. So Purdue has gotten it back to 12. And Penn State likely will milk this down in the hands of Kern.
You see the fans starting to get ready behind the scoreboard.
Well, Penn State stormed their court last year when they beat number 11 Wisconsin here. They stormed Rec Hall's floor across campus later last year. In the Big Ten opener, they've led most of the night as the clock winds down. Lawyer hits a three, and that should do it. It's become a familiar scene with Mike Rhodes as the head coach at Penn State. Top 10 team goes down, and the students get ready to celebrate in Happy Valley.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Raphael, an early statement win. First Big Ten game for Penn State. They're 8-1. And they're 1-0 in the Big Ten with a top 10 win.
Oh, a big-time win. And one of those wins to start off your Big Ten conference season that you can really use to fuel the rest of your conference slate. I mean, Penn State, they were the more aggressive team. They were the more physical team. You forced 24 turnovers out of one of the better offenses in the entire country. It just shows who you are defensively and then offensively. This is not the Penn State from a year ago. They're deep, they're talented, they're athletic. They have multiple guys that can beat you on the perimeter. And then Niederhauser, he gives them something on the inside that they have not had in a few seasons at Penn State. This team is for real. This team is here to compete to win the Big Ten Conference race.
Well, the Penn State students hope for a few more of those celebrations this week. Women's volleyball hosting first couple rounds of the NCAA tournament. Mike Rhodes addressing the crowd as the Nittany Lion takes a fall crowd surfing. But of course, Penn State football also playing the Big Ten championship game later this week as well. Penn State controlled the entire second half, used an 11-0 run early, never looked back. They win it by 11 and have their first win against Purdue in several years. We thank you for watching. For Connor Onion and Raphael Davis, we say goodnight from Happy Valley. Number 8 goes down.
When you think of the PBA Elite League, the Portland Lumberjacks are at the top of the
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Final appearance, guided by Kyle Troop, the pro with the fro, the United States Open champion. On the other side, the Elite League regular season MVP, Andrew Anderson, and the Las Vegas High Rollers seeking their first Elias Cup. It is September Madness in Maine. They're ready for the Elias Cup final. It starts now on FS1. Welcome to the PBA Elite League Playoffs presented by Snickers, and welcome to Bayside Bowl, where tonight the Elias Cup hangs in the balance. Fittingly, the top two teams all throughout the season square off for the grand prize. The top-seeded Las Vegas High Rollers, looking for their first ever Elias Cup, meet the second-seeded Portland Lumberjacks. The dynasty here at Bayside Bowl, and they've got their seventh man behind them tonight. I'm John Fanta. He's the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Will join the third member of our team, Kimberly Pressler, in a few moments. Well, what we have seen from these two teams all throughout the season is that they were clearly the best two. So when you think about this championship showdown, what comes to mind most?
What comes to mind is the dominance of the high rollers, especially last night in the semifinals, John. They averaged 248 and almost bowling a perfect 300 game, and they're spearheaded by the league MVP